An entry note before I start this actual video: in US session, you cannot enter a trade past 5 p.m., which is 4 hours into US session. So once they've been 4 hours into US session, you don't want to take any trades from there on out because there won't be any volume to carry you through. There may be on the odd occasion, but in the long run, it is not worth it. So you need to make sure you're not entering trades past 5 p.m. in US session. Most of your trades will come between 1 and 3, but no after 5 p.m. Anyway, I'm going to show you right now the behavior we look for and then actually entering in selling in US session. Now, how to sell in US. I'm on gold here, and if I go on the 1 hour, you can see very much bearish, and we do have a clear zone. If I just draw this on right here, so we've got a US zone right here. I'll just tighten this up on the 15-minute just to make it as tight as possible. So going across, yeah, this is just the zone I'd leave it as. I can't really make it any smaller than that. So at this point, because price is down here, there isn't any recent price action around here. There's only really one trade that we're looking for at this point. So all we're looking for is a push up, fake out push up to the upside like that, a rejection, and then a drop to the downside. So that's all we're looking for. Easy plan coming into US session on gold. So selling in this case was really easy. All we're looking for is a push up, one zone, rejection. So we throw it over to the 5-minute. We're looking now just for a push up to the zone. And let's have a look what happens. Price now pushed up to the zone, and you can see as soon as we tapped in this 5-minute candle right here, the first one that went above the zone, long upper wick, and then there was a bearish one after. But you could have get to selling at either of these two. So let's just say you could have just sold there, stops just up there, and then your target would have been wherever. But very simple. If I just play out what happens, price then pushes down to the US low. So all we were looking for on these US sells here was just a push up to the zone, rejection, then a drop off to the downside. There wasn't any break and retest kind of examples or what we were looking for because there was no recent price action to the left. So this was a really simple one on selling on US session. The next example of selling in US session is I've brought it up to silver now. So this is just before the session started. So what zones do we actually have on? Well, what we could look for is a push up to the previous day's US high. So we get a push up there and a bounce down. Or we could get this zone right here, which was the previous day's US low. So if we can get a break and retest of that, and then a push down on the 15-minute right here. I'm going to tighten this zone up a little bit because that is a bit too big, like that. So all we're looking for is either the US market to open, it pushes up like that into the zone, then a drop down, or we're looking for a push down, a pullback to this zone here, and then a drop off to the downside. So let's have a look what happens. So as always, market's opened, put it on the 5-minute and watch it play out. You have to watch it play out. So let's have a look at what these candles do. Play it forward a bit. Price does end up breaking down here. Do we have a 15-minute close below? Yes, we do. So if I take it back right here, you can see what happens is that this 15-minute here, it comes down strongly, but it doesn't actually close below. So we couldn't have sold then, but the next 15 does close below. It actually retests the zone a bit, then it comes down and closes below. So this is actually a bit more of an in-depth break and retest, and I'm going to show you why right now. It's a bit of a weird one. So this 15 did actually close below. Now, if I throw it onto the 5-minute, we had this rejection candle right here, very clear rejection candle of this zone right here. So there was this upper wick here, then it came down with a strong bearish body, very clear rejection of that zone. But that 5-minute candle was the 15-minute close right there. And that is how the 15-minute closed up. So you can actually sell from that point because that is a break and retest on the 15-minute, and the 5-minute was a clear rejection. So you can sell from that point, and your stops would just be up there, and your target would have just been down at the next US low. If I just draw this on, your next target would have just been down there. So this is a bit of a different example because the entry was on the 15-minute close, because the 5-minute showed rejecting it as well. And this 15 close below said that we had broken retested below this zone because we had pushed up, then come back down. From this point, I'll just show you what happens. Yeah, price sinks to the downside straight away. So that was a break and retest example on US session. So I've shown you there how you can sell in US session. All you're looking for is the US market to open, a push up to a zone, and then a drop off to the downside. Or you're looking for a push down, pull back, and then a push down like that, of a US zone like that. So that is the two things we look for when selling in US session.